Hi there, I'm Michael, and I'm the person behind the videos that you see here on Simplified Chinese. This is the first time I've ever done a video like this because I want to start featuring the vegetables behind the dishes and maybe show a few tricks and techniques along the way. This vegetable that I'm featuring today unfortunately only comes around once a year, and when it does, it is one of the best days of the year. This is what they call in China suamiao. Okay, it is garlic stems or garlic shoots, and sometimes we call them garlic scapes. But basically what this is the part of the garlic plant that comes out of the bulb, which is underground, of course, and the plant looks basically like grass, and then eventually it puts this shoot out with what looks a little bit like the top of an onion. But what we discovered is you can cut these up, and it basically takes the place of, or is the very thing that they use in China for the dish called suamiao. And we're going to make suamiao chow rou. So please keep watching. I'll show you how to cut it and then how to cook it for, in our humble opinion, one of the most amazing dishes we've ever had in our lives. All right, so the basic idea of cutting garlic stems is you just want them to be in about an inch long piece, give or take. The trick with garlic, I found, is sometimes the bottom part of the stem gets tough way too early. So you have to pick it in time for that to not be the case. If you've ever cooked with asparagus, it's basically the same idea. If you can bite into it, your breath's going to stink. But if you can bite into it, it'll probably be fine once it's cooked. If you can't, it's probably too tough. So if you want to take a bunch of samples, that's one way you can do it. All right, but again, your breath is going to stink. But after a while, you can kind of just hear it with the knife. If it crunches a little much, it's probably too tough, and you don't want to put it in the dish. But thankfully, I cut these early enough that should not be the problem. All right, at least that's what we hope. Now, if you don't want to use a knife, you could use some cooking shears. That also works. I'm sure there's a way to put a whole bundle together and cut. But the times I've tried that, it hasn't worked very well. And as you can see, they're not very consistent in the way they grow, at least not in our yard. All right? I suppose in some place they grow straight, and that would be a lot easier to do. But as you can see, we're just making about inch-long stems. Now, I will say, the closer you get to this little flowery top, right, where the seeds would eventually come out, it does get tough again. So you want to be careful not to go too far up that way. All right, so I'm going to go keep cutting. We're probably, oopsie, so here's an example where it's too tough. See, my shears are not going through it very easily. If I were to bite into that, yeah, it's just going to fray out, kind of like a flower stem would. So that you don't want in your dish. All right, but like I said, I'm going to go ahead and cut all these up, and then I'll take you through the process of cooking in my other video. Our big old bowl of garlic shoots turned into just a really tiny bowl of garlic stems, but it is going to be worth all the work. So thanks for watching. Please watch the next video to see how to turn this into suamiao chow rou.